Hello, I'm Sarah White. I'm going to tell you a story about a research-based learning principle that states a learner's prior knowledge can help or hinder the learning. Sadly, this is a tale of hindered learning. A course I took about 6 years ago was called Crucial Conversations. The goal is to walk away from the course prepared to have a difficult conversation with someone. In fact, you're paired up with a partner that you're supposed to connect with a few weeks after the class to discuss how the difficult conversation went. So both my partner and I never had a conversation because we don't like conflict. In fact, I was uncomfortable during the entire in-person class because of the role playing we had to do. Reflecting on that now, I think about why I felt and did not act upon the post-class assignment. My prior knowledge of conflict was not something I witnessed in my home. So what was it? Sadly, I think my relationships with the neighbor girl is partly to blame. So let me take you back to a time in the mid to late 1980s. I was called her my friend, and no matter how badly she treated me and spoke to me, I so badly wanted to be her friend. She lived a few houses up the street from me. Her dad was a successful realtor, and her mom was the daughter and business manager of the local Ford dealership. I admired her and all the cool brand name clothes she had, which in the 80s was a lot of Gap. She would take trips to Seattle and go shopping and tell me all about it when she came back. And I would go camping with my family. I never stayed in a hotel room until I was a teenager. Why would I when my family had a travel trailer? We would always get the latest Brides magazine and go through every page. Looking at the pages, we would choose which dress we would pick for our dream wedding. We'd ride our bikes around the neighborhood. My bike was a Kmart special, and her bike was from the local bike shop in town. We would hang out and watch movies together. She was totally into Freddy Krueger, and I was scared to death of him. Here's where it gets crucial. She was bossy. Although I was a few months older than her, she always bossed me around. We had a sleepover at her house one night, and she told me that I had to sleep on the floor and the other girls could all sleep in the beds. I felt so betrayed, but I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to fight with her. No matter what we did when we were together, she was bossy. And not just to me, she bossed her parents around, her little brother, but nobody did anything to address her meanness. One day I had enough. We were hanging out inside her home, and she was telling me what to do. I ran out of her house and rode my bike home. She tried to chase me. She called on a landline back then, and my mom told her I didn't want to talk to her. In fact, my mom would always say to me how she never understood why I tried to be a friend to this girl. My mom said something like, "She's always mean to you, and you come home crying. You don't have to be her friend." But I didn't listen. For whatever reason, I thought I could somehow make her a nicer person. As we entered our middle school years, we took different paths. I participated in music and sports. She participated in smoking and narcotics. We actually met a few years back when she was in town to visit her mom. It was awkward. I would not let her come to my house and meet my family. Rather, we met at a local restaurant, and after talking, I knew she was still the same person. I walked away that night wishing her well. We have not spoken or connected again since. My experience in this Crucial Conversations course may have been hindered by this experience. The memory of this relationship was not a positive one. In fact, I have made a commitment to myself that I will not allow negative type people to be in my life. I know I can't avoid it, and believe me, it's something that I have to deal with in my career, but I can choose for myself who I associate with. I recognize that if I'm around a challenging person, I shut down. On the flip side, if I'm with a positive person, I'm all in. When we think of evidence-based research learning principles, specifically from How Learning Works by Lovett, Bridges, DiPietro, Ambrose, and Norma, I can identify with the principle that states learners' prior knowledge can help or hinder learning. I was not motivated to take the course, but it was a recommended course for people who desire a leadership role. Today, I desire to add value to my company in the capacity of training. Although I lead and partner with people who are kind and driven to find solutions to problems rather than point fingers and be bossy. So the next time you encounter a learning opportunity, keep in mind your prior knowledge and the impact the learning may have on your experience.